What's happening, YouTube? This is the Adventure Ninja, and today I'm excited to actually post a video about the new Burris XTR-PS. I've been playing with this for a little bit. I was very excited to be one of three people, I think, in the entire world that got to run these things before they were even out to the public. And so, huge thank you to Phil and Sky over at Burris for letting me do that. And this thing just performed amazing at the 2025 Mammoth Sniper Challenge. Um, if you guys don't know who Burris is, they are a company up in Greeley, Colorado. They're about 45 minutes from my house, and I've been using their optics for years. I had the XTR2s. I've now upgraded everything to XTR3s and better. In fact, the only non-Burris scope that I have is a Vortex PRST Gen 2. Um, and it is or PST Gen 2, and it is just sitting in the floor of my safe because everything has Burris Optics on it. So fantastic. However, I really wanted to get into this, and why this I think is the future of optics. I know there's a lot of great companies out there, but I think that what Burris is doing with this particular optic is just it's going to be the future for a lot of companies. And I wanted to show you quickly how it's the same as regular as other scopes, but also how it differs. If you've watched Ray Helms's X-ring video, he has a review. He covers it. So we'll just look at it real quickly. I've got one of my XTR3s that I took off of another gun that I have. So just side by side, it looks very much like a traditional scope, particularly from this side. So you've got your parallax on the left side on both of them. You've got your capped windage, which is really nice. You've got your adjustable ocular ring here that locks so that it doesn't get messed up. Easy magnification ring. I've got the Burris lever attached to both of these for easy manipulations. And they have 34 millimeter tubes, so very strong, which is awesome. And everything. However, the difference really comes in when you start to look at the elevation knob, and that is what's so cool about this one. So let me hold it up here. You can see that the elevation knob has a significantly larger diameter. This one, the PS, is more like the XTR Pro, where it's much bigger, but that's where the similarities end. It's really the internals that are so awesome. So compared to even some expensive optics, there's just so many things that make this amazing. You'll notice that when I turn it, you don't actually hear anything because there are no clicks. This is a clickless dial that you can get resolution down to 1/30th of a mil. And so that allows you to do a couple really important things. Number one, you can dial to that hundredth to two decimal places. There's a heads up display in there. And again, if you look at Ray's video, you'll be able to see, and I think you'll be able to see it in here, is that you've got, right now I have mine set up to dial to the yardage, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But if your Kestrel gives you, dial up 3.22 mils, you can do that with this scope. So it's really, really cool if you want that fine detail. That's a huge game changer right there already. You've got a stage timer in there. You've got your wind hold, and so as you're adjusting to your different distances and holds, it will put that in there so you can incorporate, say, from Chris Way's craft wind. You can find your gun number. You can actually input that into the scope, and so you'll have your baseline already of your gun number, and so then it makes the math much easier where you have that baseline. Super cool. Easy connection to the Burris app, and everything. So that's very cool. One of the biggest things that, of course, competitors want is to be faster on the clock. And I know that Dorgan was very instrumental in creating the race dial. And you'll see a lot of people that when they compete will have either tape around their turret, or you can use the race dial and you can actually draw right on this thing with Sharpie or whatever. And so that when you're dialing, you've got like your yardage in there where you go, oh, this is the yardage. And so a lot of competitors are doing that. Well, this takes all of that and puts it into one thing where you can be on glass right here, and I can go, oh, that optic is at, or that target is at, I don't know, 389 yards. And so I can be right on here, and there it is, 389 yards, and I'm still looking right at the target. I can send my bolt forward, make sure I'm level, and then send it. Really, really great features of this. So again, I think it's going to be the future. You're going to see a lot more scopes incorporating electronics. I was worried because when I talked to the guys over at Burris about going on the Mammoth Sniper Challenge, I was like, what if the battery dies? What if, everything goes wrong? What happens? No problem. The turret is still just like a normal turret, which is great. And so you can still run your hard dope and go, oh, I need to come up X number of mils, dial, and you're good to go. So this thing can go out to about 1,500 yards for my 223 data. 19 mils about, and works great. I never needed to go that far. Nothing ever broke. The battery life is actually longer than they told me it was going to be. I ran this thing for basically weeks before the competition and at the competition on the same battery. And it's still at full battery even after all this time. So very, very impressive because it does have an auto shut off feature. So many good things about it. Um, One of the things that I think is so handy is when communicating with a partner on the clock. And so when I was doing the Mammoth Challenge with KJ, we would range with binos and just talking yards. I'd be like, oh, it's at 225 yards. This one's at 318. This one's at, and be able to range those targets. And as we're just talking in distances, I'm just looking straight through my optic here, and he's calling out yardage. I dial, I send it, dial, send it, right? Really, really easy. The one thing that I wish it had is an additional, like maybe right below it, it's a small heads up display. There might be room maybe to display what the mill is and the yards at the same time. I think that would be kind of cool because if I know what my mill is and then I need to hold over a certain to another number, something that might be easier. But again, this thing is fantastic. I did want to talk about the installation briefly though, because I did run in I did run into a problem. So you notice that I have ScalarWorks um, on the other side, and unfortunately, their brand new mount is not here yet. So I'm eagerly awaiting the new hotness. But the bottom of the Burris scope, the PS, is actually plastic. And that creates a problem if you're using the ScalarWorks level drive. You just have to mount it using a traditional method. I use my long range arms bubble level to do that. So that's not a big issue, but you do have to be careful pushing on the bottom of this because it is very sensitive magnets and everything, and that's what makes this all of the internals work. So you have to be careful when you mount it. However, it turned out not to be a big issue because I backed it off and was able to everything worked just fine. So no problems. With the again with the XTR3, and this is don't look, that's not a ScalarWorks mount. I'm waiting for that other one to get here. Again, the bottoms of theirs on the XTR3 is metal, so you can use that level drive or the shims or whatever. If you're going to use a plumb bob, then gravity, you don't need to do anything. Um, so again, overall, really, really great. One thing that I do love about these these scopes is that they are also very affordable. They're like 2,600 MSRP. They're super affordable, which when I looked at like Zero Compromise Optics or Collis or these other ones where I'm like, oh, sticker price, yikes. You know, they still have the clicks, right? You can hear those clicks. And I remember watching videos about what optic I should buy, and people were like, "Oh man, it's got really nice like definitive clicks where oh I need to go up 5/10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can hear those clicks." I love having the heads up display and no clicks. And I think a lot of companies are going to start going to a clickless system. I'm pretty sure that Burris has it patented, their programmable elevation knob, the peak knob, and I think that eventually more companies are going to go to no clicks where you can just have this nice smooth get to it. You can dial half of a tenth. It's super, super nice. Um, and everything. So, and then it also eliminates so many things. You can see that I've got my, of course, my Burris bubble level on this one. So that way, when I'm looking at the target and I've just got both eyes open, I can see, oh yeah, I am level. So that way, that's not going to be one of the reasons that I miss. But this one has the bubble level, and let's see if I can show it right here. And you can see that it's on. So just below the yardage, that 373 is, if we start tilting it, you can see that level move, which is really neat. And it is precise to within half a degree. And so that is really, really useful there. And I realize that the resolution on this is not great, but you can see how I dial, and then my wind hold changes down in the bottom right there. You can change the density altitude right from inside this, or you can connect to your phone. It's really fast to upload stuff, to upload a ballistic profile and everything. I love seeing how fast technology is progressing, and talking with the guys at SHOT Show when they debuted this. The cool next step for it is getting it to talk to other things, to your Kestrel, to your rangefinders, to whatever. If you have a laser rangefinder, um, one of the Vortex Impacts or the Fire 4000, being able to communicate back and forth with those various optic devices. So really interested to see where it's going. But again, I think that this is going to be the future of optics, is more electronics in there, taking things from trying to uh, running your hard dope and doing the conversions to stuff. Okay, that's at this number of yardage, but I only wrote down every 25 yards on my armband. Okay, what am I going to do now? Um, this really simplifies that workflow process and makes it easy, where you say, oh, that's at 502 yards. I can just dial to 502 yards. There's no thinking about it. And so that saves you time on the clock, makes you faster. So looking forward to using this later for the Competition Dynamics Sniper Adventure Challenge. I will be an RO at the Burris Optics Team Challenge up in Wyoming. So hopefully some of you guys will be there, and you should definitely get your hands on one of these XTR-PSs because they are just phenomenal. So check out Ray's video. It's got some trigger cam footage of it in action, and we'll catch you guys next time.